Welcome to Tired Mommy Revival. Hey mama, are you running on coffee fumes? Feeling like brain fog, fatigue, and anxiety are running the show? Do you wake up dreading the day ahead, already overwhelmed by the endless to-do list and unsure how you'll make it through? Do you long for the energy to enjoy motherhood and care for yourself, but feel stuck and unsure where to start? Let me remind you of something life-changing. You were created for more energy, more clarity, more joy. Hi, I'm Jerusha, certified holistic wellness coach, wife and mom to 2 wild boys and 1 baby girl in heaven. I know the exhaustion you're feeling because I've been there, barely making it through the day, relying on coffee and chocolate to survive, and wondering why nothing I tried ever made me feel better. Then, God stepped in and revealed a powerful truth. A woman's body is beautifully and uniquely designed to thrive. When we align with how God created us, we can boost our energy, bust through fatigue, and step into the vibrant, joy-filled life He has for us. Mama, I'm living proof that it's possible. These days, I wake up refreshed, nourish my body with intention, and navigate the chaos of motherhood with patience and peace. Most days. And I want to help you do the same. If you're ready to swap exhaustion for energy, brain fog for clarity, and guilt for grace, you're in the right place. Each week, we'll dive into practical strategies, faith-filled truths, and empowering tools to renew your health, body, soul, and spirit. Are you ready for this? Let's do it, Mama. The season of sweets has arrived. From the moment the pumpkin spice latte hits the menu, it feels like sugar is chasing us down everywhere we go. Pumpkin bread at the coffee shop, apple cider donuts at the orchard, candy corn on the shelves, and before we know it, we're rolling straight into pies at Thanksgiving and cookies all December long. It's fun, it's festive, and let's be honest, it feels like the holidays just aren't the holidays without a little sugar. But here's the thing, all of that sugar doesn't just show up on our hips. It shows up in our energy, our health, and our ability to show up well in the middle of busy schedules and holiday plans. Today, I want to talk with you about how to indulge, yes, indulge, without the sugar crash stealing your joy. We are officially in what I like to call the sugar season. September through December, our culture has one long celebration fueled by sugar. It starts with pumpkin spice everything in September, rolls into Halloween candy in October, pumpkin and pecan pies in November, and sugar cookies, hot cocoa, and fudge in December. If you add it all up, it's no wonder so many moms hit January feeling run down, foggy, and like we need a total reset. This is where I used to find myself year after year. And to be honest, when the holidays came around and pumpkin spice rolled in, I was just as excited as everybody else. In fact, some of the industry's most popular items were on my bucket list for the fall. But for years, I had no idea how much sugar I was dumping into my body. So just how much sugar are we talking about? Let me give you a few quick examples. A Starbucks Grande Peppermint Mocha has about 54 grams of sugar. That's more than double the daily recommended limit for women in 1 cup. A slice of pumpkin pie comes in around 25 grams of sugar. Add whipped cream and you're pushing it past 30 grams. A Dunkin' holiday donut can land you anywhere from 20 to 40 grams of sugar in a single treat. Even a simple cup of eggnog brings about 20 to 30 grams of sugar before you've even touched dessert. Now, here's the kicker. The American Heart Association recommends no more than 25 grams of added sugar per day for women and 36 grams for men. Most Americans are already averaging around 68 grams of sugar daily, and that's before holiday indulgences. I would highly encourage you to look up the nutrition facts on some of your favorite holiday treats before you indulge. It is both surprising and completely shocking. A couple weeks ago, we went to Dutch Bros for my son's birthday, and I was excited to indulge in a special drink because I stopped getting fancy coffees years ago. But when I went to the nutrition facts, I was appalled. Up to 60 or 70 grams of sugar in most drinks. In the end, I decided to pass it up because I wanted to enjoy the day and not feel a sugar crash or a headache when my presence was more important. But think about it. When you're sipping a peppermint mocha in the morning, snacking on cookies in the afternoon, and finishing with pie at dinner, you're easily doubling or even tripling the daily limit. And not just for one day, but day after day for months on end. That constant sugar overload doesn't just disappear when the season's over. It leaves your body drained and your immune system weaker right when you need it the most. Let's talk about what all that sugar does behind the scenes and why it backfires on us. First, we have the energy crash. Sugar spikes your blood sugar and gives you that quick high. Hello, holiday cookie tray. But it doesn't last. The crash leaves you more tired, more irritable, and sometimes craving even more sugar just to keep going. Second, your immune system takes a hit. Did you know that just 75 to 100 grams of sugar in one sitting, basically a latte and a piece of pie, can weaken your immune defenses for up to 3 to 5 hours? Your white blood cells actually get sluggish. And that's happening right when your kids are bringing home every cold and flu bug from school. Third, your resilience. Winter is a busy, stressful season. Sugar adds inflammation, messes with your gut health, and makes it harder to fight off sickness. Instead of fueling your body, it's draining it. So while sugar feels like comfort, it's actually stealing the energy and immunity you need the most. We've made sugar the epicenter of celebration, but it doesn't have to be. I'll never forget a few years ago, one Christmas, when we sat down as a family to decorate sugar cookies. And right there in the middle of it, something hit me. I wasn't enjoying myself at all. I was exhausted, my body ached, my mind was racing from my never-ending to-do list, and honestly, I was just nodding along to my kids while secretly thinking, I hope we're done soon. Here I was trying to organize everything so we could make good memories. But the truth is, it wasn't about the activity. The kids didn't just need cookies and frosting, they needed me. They needed to laugh with me, to show me their silly cookie art, to feel like mom was right there in the moment. And that year, I simply wasn't capable of being present. Over the weeks that followed, I remember talking with God about it, asking him where I was going wrong, what I needed to change. And what he told me stopped me in my tracks. He said, "You think the memories are the blessing, but the true gift is your presence. The gift I gave your children is you. Give them more of you." That truth has reshaped the way I think about celebration ever since. And one big piece of the puzzle for me has been sugar. Because if I'm honest, sugar was the thing I reached for when I was stressed. It was my little, I deserve this moment in the middle of being busy, busy, busy. But over time, I realized it wasn't giving me what I needed. It was stealing from me. Sugar was leaving me drained and foggy. It made me achy and tired, and it often left me sick right when I needed energy the most. I began to see that sugar had quietly slipped into the center of our family celebrations. Every time I wanted to make something feel special, my default was, let's enjoy a treat. And sure, having a treat here and there is fine, but enjoying them for 3 months straight, that was a problem. Some Christmases, our whole family even ended up sick on Christmas Day. And truly, I believe sugar played a huge part by weakening our immune systems. That's when I knew something had to change. I needed to create some healthy boundaries around sugar. Not because sugar is evil, but because I wanted to be fully present. I wanted to show up with energy and joy for my family, and I wanted my kids to remember me, not just the activities or the treats. So, let me share a few of the boundaries I've learned over the years. These have made such a difference for me, and I think they might help you too. Boundary number one, choose what's most important and skip the rest. Mama, you don't have to say yes to every single treat. Pick the ones your family really loves and let the others go. I can completely relate to this because I would make tons of Christmas candy. I would make jam. I would make cookies. I mean, you name it, it was happening in our house. Like, I was baking more than I was cooking dinner during the whole month of December. And that's not even including what happened in October or November. So for us, that meant that maybe instead of making all of the treats, we just chose our favorites. For you, maybe that means choosing between fudge or caramel. Or maybe it means deciding not to keep sweets in the house every day, but enjoying them at a party instead. Whatever works for you. The point is to make a plan so sugar doesn't end up running your season. Boundary number two, make sugar free versions of your favorites. Listen, I've got a sweet tooth, so while I'd love to say that I just gave up sugar forever, that's not reality. But here's the thing, you can make sugar free or refined sugar free versions of your favorite treats and still feel like you're indulging. Some of my go tos include pumpkin pie, pecan pie bars, chocolate peanut butter balls that taste just like Reese's, and snowball cookies. I even make a pumpkin or peppermint mocha coffee at home. I have tried so many low carb and sugar free recipes over the years, and I will tell you, there is a lot you can find online that looks amazing, but when you actually go to make the recipe, it's an absolute disaster. It's super disappointing and even gross. But I have actually done a lot of research. I've tested a lot of recipes over the year, and I've saved a bunch of my favorites over on my Pinterest boards. So if you need some inspiration, go check those out because there are a lot of good recipes out there too. And I really like to lean into my favorite food bloggers who I know really nail these recipes well, and I trust them. Boundary number three is replace something sweet with something savory. Sometimes the best way to avoid a sugar crash isn't just swapping ingredients. It's replacing the whole idea of what feels like a treat. Instead of always turning to something sweet, try creating a savory experience that feels just as fun. One of our family favorite ways to do this is with a charcuterie board. And listen, it doesn't have to be Pinterest perfect or expensive. The whole point is creating a selection of little things that you can graze on together. We'll put out a meat like salami or smoked salmon, some cheeses, fruit like grapes or strawberries, and veggies like cucumbers, little tomatoes, or carrots. Then we'll add olives, nuts, maybe some dried fruit, and a couple of dips like herby cream cheese with the salmon or hummus or a spiced carrot and lentil dip I make that's amazing or pesto. And then we might put some pita bread on there too. I try to build a mix of foods my kids love, plus some things that are a little more adventurous. Stuff my husband and I enjoy that the kids can try if they're curious. And you know what? These family style meals always feel like a special treat. We laugh, we snack, and it feels celebratory without the sugar crash waiting for us afterward. And honestly, by the time January rolls around, we're all so sick of sweets that we crave this kind of lighter, savory spread. Boundary number four is never start your morning with sugar. This one's a biggie. Do not, mama, I repeat, do not eat pumpkin pie for breakfast or cookies or brownies. Because what you eat first sets the tone for your whole day with your energy, your metabolism, and your cravings. If you're doing a celebratory breakfast with cinnamon rolls or pancakes, that's fine, but serve eggs, bacon, or fruit first. Getting protein in before sugar makes a world of difference for your energy. Boundary number 5 is don't be afraid to throw it away. Especially at Christmas, sugar can completely overrun your house. Neighbors drop off goodies, friends bring tins of cookies, gift baskets pile up, and here's the permission you need. You don't have to keep it all or eat it all. You're not being wasteful. You're protecting your family's health. Enjoy a little and then toss the rest. Trust me, your body will thank you. Now, it's one thing to make changes at home where you have some control, but out in the real world, holiday sugar is everywhere. And when you're already tired, hungry, and stretched thin, it's so easy to just give in. Let me walk you through a few places where I found sugar sneaks in the most and some simple ways to handle it without feeling deprived. First is coffee shops. This one gets me every time. You're out running errands, you're cold, and that holiday latte just sounds like the pick me up you deserve. But here's the thing. One grande peppermint mocha has over 50 grams of sugar, and that's basically your whole day's worth of sugar in one cup. My solution? Sometimes I'll still grab one, but I order a tall instead of a grande, or I ask for half the syrup. Other days, I'll make my own version at home with just a drizzle of honey and some peppermint extract. It still feels festive, but I don't walk away with the sugar hangover. Next up is pumpkin patches and fall festivals. This one's a big one for us because when you're out with the kids, it feels like food is everywhere. And let's be honest, most of it is fast food that costs too much, takes forever to get, and doesn't even taste that good. I finally realized that I don't have the time or the desire to stand in long lines just to buy food that makes us feel terrible. Now, when we go to the pumpkin patch, we pack simple things: sandwiches, fruit, water, or juice. That way, everyone's full and happy while we're there. I'm not stressing about what we'll eat. We get to spend more time doing fun things instead of standing in line. And then we save our indulgence for treats afterward, like grabbing cookies, ice cream, or sharing a bag of kettle corn together. I also love to bring my own sugar-free candied pecans to snack on. They're sweet, crunchy, and satisfying, and they give me something fun to munch on so I don't feel left out. Then, if I really want a pumpkin patch treat, I'll have one. But if I don't, I still feel like I've enjoyed something special. Next up is workplaces and schools. Candy bowls on every desk, cookie trays in the break room, class parties with frosting piled a mile high. I found that if I don't make a plan, I'll graze without thinking. So my rule? I decide before I walk in whether today is a yes day or a no day. If it's yes, I pick one thing and enjoy it fully. If it's no, I grab a cup of coffee, tea, or even water so I still have something in my hand. That tiny shift makes it so much easier to say no gracefully. Next up is holiday parties and church groups. We all know the dessert table is the centerpiece here, and it's tempting to feel like you have to try everything just to be polite. But you don't. Eat real food first so you're not walking up there starving. And then pick the dessert that you'll actually enjoy. Your favorite cookie, Aunt Susie's pie, whatever it is. Choose it, savor it, and give yourself permission to skip the rest. Next up is shopping trips. This one's sneaky. You're running errands, you've got kids in tow, and then the smell of cinnamon sugar pretzels hits you. Suddenly, you're $10 deep in snacks that don't even taste that great. Here's my trick. I give myself permission to say yes if I really want it, but I also give myself permission to say no without guilt. Sometimes I'll literally stop and ask myself, is this going to make me feel better or worse? If it's worse, I just keep walking. Sometimes simply understanding our motivation behind saying yes can also be a huge game changer. Are we really hungry? Did we miss lunch? Do we need to go home and eat something good before we enjoy a treat? Are we really feeling like we want a moment to indulge in something we enjoy as a special treat? Or are we saying yes because we're stressed and we're just trying to calm the stress in our bodies? In which case, sugar actually escalates our stress and makes things feel worse. So, really ask yourself, why do I want this? And is it going to make me feel better or worse? Overall, here's what I've learned. The food industry wants us to believe that the holidays are built around sugar. From September straight through December, they market sweets as if sugar itself is the celebration. But that was never God's design. Fall and winter are actually the seasons of abundance. This is when pumpkins, squashes, apples, pears, hardy greens, sweet potatoes, and root vegetables are overflowing. These foods are colorful, comforting, and packed with nutrients that actually strengthen your body, boost your energy, and support your immune system right when you need it most. Think about it. God designed the harvest to match the season. When it's cold and flu season, He gives us foods rich in vitamin C, antioxidants, and fiber. When our bodies crave warmth, He gives us hearty squashes and root vegetables that make the perfect cozy meals. The world says, celebrate with sugar, but God says, I've already provided foods that will fuel your celebration. When you shift the center of your celebrations away from sugar, you'll find yourself showing up differently. You'll have more energy, more presence, and more joy to give. And Mama, this is just a glimpse. In the next episode, we're going to take this conversation further. We'll talk about how to enjoy the natural abundance of fall with healing soups, stews, and seasonal comfort foods that don't just taste good, but actually fuel you for the colder months. I want to leave you with this encouragement. Mama, I get it. Sugar is everywhere this time of year. And sometimes it feels easier to just give in and deal with the crash later. But Mama, you deserve more than that. You deserve to feel good, to have energy, and to enjoy the season without brain fog, fatigue, and sickness stealing it from you at every corner. So set some healthy boundaries, make swaps where you can, and remember, you're not missing out. You're gaining presence, energy, and joy. And here's something to hold on to. Sometimes the best yes isn't to the cookie tray. It's the yes that sustains your energy, your health, and your long-term joy over a moment of temporary enjoyment. Every time you say no to sugar, you're actually saying yes to something better for your body, your mind, and your family. And speaking of joy, next episode, we'll dive deeper into the foods God has given us in this season. Hearty soups, stews, and cozy comfort foods that nourish your body while warming your soul. That's the kind of celebration that lasts. I can't wait to join you for the next part of this conversation. Mama, I hope this episode blessed you and reminded you that you were beautifully and uniquely made to thrive. If today's conversation spoke to your heart, I'd love for you to take a moment to leave a rating and review. Not only does it encourage me, but it helps more tired mamas discover the hope, healing, and energy they've been searching for. You're not in this alone. Make sure to hit subscribe so you never miss an episode. Together, we'll reclaim your energy, renew your health, and revive your spirit, one step at a time. Until next time, remember, you are beautifully designed by God to live with energy, clarity, and joy. You're not just surviving, Mama. You're stepping into the vibrant life you were created for. I'm cheering you on.